original machine had a base plate of prefamulated amulite surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two spurving bearings were in a direct line with the panometric fam. The latter consisted simply of 6 hydrocoptic marsal vanes so fitted to the ambifacient lunar wane shaft that side fumbling was effectively prevented. The main winding was of the normal Lotus O delta type, placed in panendermic semi-boloid slots of the stator, every 7th conductor being connected by a non-reversible tremie pipe to the differential girdle spring on the up end of the grandeur.
God, I knew this was a bubble. God, I knew it! What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an awesome day today. Top coins today being Bitcoin, Ethereum, even XRP has been doing quite well. They're all in the red today. So we have Bitcoin and Ethereum down about 1.5% combined. XRP down 4.5%. Now Chainlink pushing on $10. We'll talk about that in a bit. But what is going on with the Bitcoin chart? Now we got all the way up to $12,200 a couple days ago. We had bullish sentiment. Everybody was excited. We were going to the moon. And then we had that flash crash down to $10,500, and since then we've been going sideways in the low 11,000s. We actually dipped below 11,000 this morning. So I want to talk about what we've been discussing the past 2 days, this crazy fractal that Bitcoin is emulating from all the way back in May of 2012, what exactly we could expect moving forward. Now, having a look at Ethereum, even though Ethereum is still going sideways, it's kind of treading upwards, right? So Ethereum is actually sort of outpacing Bitcoin. In fact, the Ethereum volume has been blowing the Bitcoin volume out of the water. We're going to talk about why it's been doing that, what that means for Ethereum moving forward. Should you buy Ethereum? That's the big question everybody's asking. I want to talk about that, but getting back to our good old buddy Bitcoin, we need to talk about this particular signal on the Bitcoin chart. Now, this is an indicator that literally only flashes every year and a half, right? And when it does turn green, or when it does flash the buy indicator, you could see that we basically go on a multi-month, almost, 2-year cycle, bull, macro market, whatever you want to call it. And you can see right here, we just recently flashed that signal again. So I want to discuss that bullish scenario. There also is a bearish scenario, something on the Bitcoin chart that looks eerily similar to the last time Bitcoin had a top. I also want to talk about the fact that we have had 120 million more Tether printed at the Tether treasury. So some people are saying, yay, this is great, they're going to buy up all the Bitcoin. Or on the flip side, is this in preparation for the big sell-off? So I'm going to give you my opinion on that as well. Also today, I want to talk about one specific altcoin that I have actually bought some more of recently. Now, I've mentioned it on the channel. You may know what it is, but I personally think that considering what this project is setting out to do, it is extremely undervalued, and I could possibly see another 10x, some people saying a 100x, not too sure about that, but in its future. So we're going to get into all that today. Also, just super quick, not to mention the fact that we have Swiss government-backed banks also creating cryptocurrency trading platforms. So they're getting into crypto, and I want to show you why a lot of the other governments are leaning towards blockchain as well. So lots of information today. We're going to go into the bullish scenario, the bearish scenario. We're going to talk about altcoins. I'm going to show you one of my top altcoin picks, which I have bought some more of, which I do believe still has a 10x potential. And of course, we're going to get into the news of the day. If that sounds good to you, you know what to do. And also today, we're going to give away the ledger. That's at the end. So diving in, having a look, I don't need to keep repeating myself. You all know that we did in fact have this bullish candle where we finally broke out of the downtrend. Now, if we do take this basically and connected to the previous candle right here, you do notice that that is kind of where we're finding that resistance, right? So I'm just saying if we move it from the wick to our latest highest high, which was the month of July, you can see that Bitcoin is still sort of dancing around that. But some people are saying this could be the calm before the storm, right? Having a look on the weekly chart, while it is very bullish, we're still putting in higher highs technically on the weekly chart, with the exception of this blow off top over here when we went to 14K last year, we are still being held down by, you could see this dotted trend line, which even though, yes, we've wicked above it, ultimately, we still keep getting suppressed below the line. So we still do have that resistance on the weekly chart. The bulls are trying, but the bears, they are not giving in easy. Now, I want to talk about something that is a little scary, which is a similarity to what we had back here in June of 2019 compared to what we're having right now. Now, this is the Heiken Ashi chart. You'll notice it looks a little bit different than the traditional bar chart. It actually starts the candles off in the middle of each chart. I'm not going to go into how it's calculated today. Just trust me, it's a very, very useful chart for seeing the flow of price movement. You can see it kind of goes green here, and then it shows the price moving up, and now you can see we've dipped back into the red. But look at this right here. So we have this candle right here with a massive wick to the upside, and then it closes down with some selling pressure. Then we go into a green, what I like to call the Darth Maul candle, right? Because it looks like his lightsaber on both ends, right? Where we have crazy liquidation to the upside, crazy liquidation to the downside, basically end right in the middle, which shows a lot of sort of indecision in the markets, right? And after that, we then had a red bearish candle followed by another candle as well. And that's what we're having right now. Now, if we go back to the top over here, let's look at what we basically put in, okay? So we had that crazy green blow off top. We then had the green Darth Maul wick right here. You can see we go all the way liquidate everyone to the top, liquidate everyone to the bottom. Then we have the red bearish candle, and we are starting to put in another candle as well. Now, this candle was green. Currently, we are in a red candle, but we're only a few days into the month. We could potentially end, the next day, bullish, whatever. But having a look right here, you can see that ultimately that did begin the downtrend. And having a look at what we're doing right now, this does look like a very similar chart. So, we could end today bullish. But for the most part, we basically had that green candle followed by that Darth Maul wick. Now, you can see right here, we have maintained pretty nice short term on this uptrend. However, if we do fall, we do risk a potential chance of falling down and retesting the support down here. Now, you can see we never really fully got back into it. Look, we wicked down right here, July 28th, but we didn't quite touch it. We wicked down again during the massive sell-off on August 2nd, just a few days ago. We didn't quite touch it. So there is that potential chance that maybe Bitcoin finally comes down and maybe even wicks down into, we could even fall into the high 9,000s just to shake out some hands before pumping back to the upside. Now, I know a lot of people still think we need to fill the CME futures gap. I'm not taking an opinion on it. At this point, it's kind of taboo to even bring up. We mostly do fill all of the gaps. In fact, we had one on the 4-hour that got filled just this morning or yesterday. But this gap, in order to get filled, would mean that you'd have to go down to $9,665. So what do you think? I'm tired of giving my opinion. Do you think we're going to fill this gap? Yes or no? Drop a comment below. Start a discussion. Do you think Bitcoin is going to fall down to $9,665? And fill this gap like we filled all the gaps? Or do you think the gap is just a bunch of BS and we're not going to fill it? Or do you think we are going to fill it, but maybe it's not because of the gap, it's because of some other technical thing? Let me know about that below. But we've been talking about this pattern that essentially we had back in May of 2019. Now, right here, you can see we have a massive capitulation wick. We put in a bit of a double bottom, and what we did back in May was same exact thing. And I pointed this out in my video 3 days ago, guys. By the way, shout out to Crypto Potato. They actually put together this chart. We did talk about it 3 days ago, but they sort of put the chart together. So you can see right here, massive wick. We pull up, we have this little double bottom, and then pump to the upside. And currently, that is what we're doing right now. So will history repeat itself? Well, I want to talk about over here what B. Biddles pointed out. And this is a very interesting thing. So he says, can't believe I didn't see it before on the weekly close. Let me actually go to the previous one. Now, this is back in the bottom of the bear market where we basically had the major end of the bear, right? In the beginning of 2019 starting, and then we got, April 1st blast off. He says, can't believe I didn't see it before on the weekly. Classic pattern I call the smooth transfer of power. Bears get weaker as price descends. Bulls silently buying all along, take control. We retest of power. And then finally, D, we have liftoff. And you can see he's saying that he thinks that the pattern that we're putting in is very, very similar to basically what we saw back here, and we're actually just starting the blast off pattern. Now, I do want to talk about why I am bullish on Bitcoin, despite even if we do have a retest of the $10,500 level, or yes, even if we fill the CME futures gap. And that is literally because we have all of the major moving averages. Not only do we have two golden crosses, okay? We have the 50 moving above the 100 and 200. We have the 100 moving above the 200. So that's golden cross number one right here, and golden cross number two right here. The other thing I want to point out is that we have all three of these major moving averages pointing upwards. So it's not like we had one going sideways and one, basically crossed over it. No, look at this. The 200, this is slowly moving up. We have the 100 slowly moving up as well. And with a little bit more of a steeper incline, we have the 50 also moving up. And here is the other crazy thing as well. The 50 would be looking for support, and that is around the $9,628 level. So even if the CME gap was to get filled, we would most likely get supported by this yellow line right here, because that is exactly where the CME gap is located at. Now, let's talk about one particular moving average that I look at very frequently, and this helps me to gauge whether or not we are in a bullish or bearish trend, and that is the 21 exponential on the monthly. I used to mention this a lot a few months ago. Once we kind of got, bullish, I haven't really talked about it, but just to reiterate, rejog your memory, you could see for the most part, once we get above this 21 exponential moving average, we basically continue on a macro uptrend. Look, we even touch it right here, bounce off of it, and continue upwards. Right here, look. We had a touch of it, we bounced off, we retested. But look, once we fell below it, well, forget it. That basically put us into a bearish trend that lasted multiple months, okay? And then right here, we break above it, boom. And then every single time we retest, over here, we're actually way off it, but you can see it does hold as support. Now, moving forward right here to basically when we were going sideways at the end of 2018, we retested once, 2 times, 3, 4, 5 times we tested it, and boom, we finally fell through. Once we fell through, we literally crashed to the bottom, 50% candle all the way down. And then look at this. Finally, once we do break back above it again, it becomes the major blast off point. And look, the same thing happens here. We come down. Look, we retested 1, 2, 3. We have a bounce back. Finally, we crash. And look, we are back above it again. So this is another reason why I do feel like we are still extremely bullish. Now, Whale Alert has printed $120 million at the Tether treasury. Now, do I think that this is to hop into Tether, or do I think that this is to buy Bitcoin? Well, my personal opinion is that I do think it is money to sit on the sideline, potentially to buy dips, okay? I don't necessarily think that this is to, cash into right now to basically just, crash the price back down again. I do think that this is actually because of actual demand. I know some people think it's manipulation, but personally, I'm thinking that this is actually a better scenario for Bitcoin. Now, let me just point out something super quick that happened on Anthony Pompliano's video. So he pointed out in his video the other day, and this was a video he did with U.S. Congressman Tom Emmer, and he was convinced by Satoshi Nakamoto that around, basically in the same time of 2008, we had the financial crisis. This is when we see Bitcoin come out, not unlike what we're seeing today. And he basically says, like in the past, people are looking for new stores of value amid the U.S. government's unprecedented relief measures that could ultimately devalue the US dollar. In fact, to quote the congressman, he says, as we come out of the crisis, Bitcoin ain't going away. It's going to get stronger. And now we even have Brian Brooks, who is the acting comptroller of currency, saying, hey, institutions, you can start banking this stuff. You can provide a home for it. You can start working with it. Okay? So send it, right? Okay, well, let's talk about this. So this is from Byzantine General, and this is the Supertrend, the Bitcoin Supertrend. Now, I don't have this pulled up on my chart, so we're just going to go look at Byzantine General's chart. Thank you for posting this, buddy. I appreciate it. So he says the Supertrend went green on the weekly. Probably no big deal. It's not like this indicator has marked major macro bull and bear cycles in the past. Obviously, he's being sarcastic, but as you can see right here, essentially, we have it go green and we have the major blast off right here all until the peak, around 2014. Then we do have that dump, right? And we continue bearish for quite some time before flipping bullish back again right here in June, July of 2016, to which we go on a multi-year bull market all the way up to the 20K top, right? Now we do have the dump right here. And then look, right here, when we had the April 1st blast off, remember everybody was like, April 1st, is Bitcoin playing an April Fool's joke on us? Well, it wasn't playing an April Fool's joke because that was the beginning of the massive blast off all the way to the $14,000 top. And then we did have it flip bearish again. And currently, just a few days ago, we finally had it flip bullish again. So yeah, I mean, this is a macro indicator, guys. This isn't something that, just flips on the 4 hour. This is a weekly indicator and it has just flipped bullish. And it's not like it flips bullish and then like a few days later flips bearish. It usually stays in that trend for a very long time. So this could potentially be the beginning of a massive blast off. And yeah, I don't know why, but I can't stop looking at this video. It's just really awesome. This is what I feel like when we're blasting off to the moon. So yeah, I wanted to share. I've had this pulled up for some reason, so I wanted to share it. But yeah, so let's talk about something that has been sort of heading to the moon lately though, and that is Ethereum. Ethereum absolutely smashing its previous resistance. Now, if Bitcoin was to have that major dump and Ethereum did get pulled down with it, what is the lowest price I would anticipate Ethereum going to? Well, to be completely honest with you, Ethereum held so well above this previous resistance that I think the lowest we would go is back down to the bottom of the box to about $334. Now, some people are a little bit more bearish on Ethereum. You could see Glassnode pointed out that over 90% of the circulating ETH supply is now in a state of profit. The current price is higher compared to the price at the time the coins last moved. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, this is a good thing. Well, the last time we saw this level was in February of 2018 when the ETH price was around $925. So yeah, I mean 2018, January, February, that was kind of the last of the altcoins, hurrah. And then we did sort of have that massive sell-off, right? So basically that could potentially be a negative for Ethereum, but we have noticed a huge increase in Ethereum demand because of all the DeFi craze, and according to the block research, both spot and futures are rising faster than Bitcoin volumes, meaning that, obviously this is more trading happening on ETH relative to Bitcoin. So if you look right here, the spot volume from exchanges with legitimate volume found that the ratio has been growing about 16% since September of 2019 to about 50% now. So as future trading volumes are concerned, the ratio has grown from about 8% to 29%. But forget Ethereum, guys. Let's talk about Chainlink. Chainlink absolutely skyrocketing. You can see over here on Femex, Chainlink actually got all the way up to $9.82. So incredible. We almost hit the $10 mark. Now, if you guys are looking to trade leverage, which I do not recommend for beginners, but you could really make some awesome trades, especially on Chainlink. People have been going buck wild over here on Femex. So if you are interested in how to trade on Femex, like I said, not recommended for beginners, but you are able to use leverage up to 20x. So, if it moves 1%, you can gain 20%, which is great. Or, if it goes the other way, you could lose. But I do have a tutorial for that. Check it out. That is popping above. Another altcoin that's been doing quite well is Ocean Protocol, up in fact another 16% today alone. Now, some people are getting pretty excited because Coinbase has mentioned it as a potential coin that they might be listing on their next, upcoming token listing, whatever. Now, I did mention Ocean Protocol on my channel in my top 10 altcoins 100x gains possible video, and at that time it was around 7.5 cents. So currently at around almost 30 cents, it did over 4x. However, we do have a market cap of $97 million. So no, this is not the altcoin that I bought more of. The altcoin that I do think is undervalued that I did buy more of recently is Orion Protocol. Yes, I bought more of this. Now, why did I buy more of Orion Protocol? Well, number one, because it really hasn't had that much of a move since I did speak about it in the video that I put out, right? It only has gone up from $1.69 to $2.10. So why have I bought more? It doesn't seem like it's mooning. Well, interestingly enough, here's something kind of crazy. If we go over and we have a look at the Ocean Protocol volume, Ocean Protocol has gone up about 4x with trading volume of 7.6 million, right? Not bad. Having a look over here, you notice that Orion Protocol has trading volume of 2.5 million. Now that's a little bit lower. However, the market cap is only 7.9 million. That's significantly lower than Ocean Protocol. Now, if we come down here and have a look at what it's been doing, it's essentially been trading sideways. Now, it's not like the volume has fallen off a cliff. It's actually stayed steady. So this is telling me that there are some savvy whales that are collecting Ocean Protocol. They are buying slowly every single day and accumulating. All right, I'm one of those. I'm not saying that I am a whale, but yes, I have been accumulating as well. But I'm saying I do think that there's potentially even more savvy investors than myself that are seeing the value in this token. And why is that? Why are they keeping the price so steady right now? Well, what is Orion Protocol? Well, I've already gone into it in my previous videos, but essentially they are a liquidity aggregator for both DeFi and centralized exchanges. This is absolutely massive because this is going to basically be the glue, the connectivity between the decentralized world and the centralized world as well. You can also see over here, just pointing out what Andrew Kirk said, he's the community lead. He says regular users can access bottomless liquidity. The terminal includes so many exchanges, power brokers, brokers and non-broker stakers enjoy great rewards. And let's just super quick talk about the token, okay? Now, you might remember what happened with the Binance token BNB. That became a top 10 altcoin, one of the most successful altcoins we've ever seen. They eventually moved into their own chain, right? And that was because they were basically revolutionary in figuring out a token model for exchanges. So some of the things that you can do with this token is you have discounted trading. So the terminal users are going to be able to save up to 20% on standard trading fees, very similar to what we saw with the BNB token, since fees are typically calculated as a proportion of order size. If ORN token rises, then a smaller amount will be required. Also, staking returns, right? So this is big. Brokers and non-broker stakers are available to earn additional transaction fees by staking ORN. We've seen staking absolutely huge. In fact, Ethereum, the number one altcoin, the biggest protocol there is, the largest smart contract platform, is moving to proof of stake in Ethereum 2.0. Rather than minting new tokens though, Orion Protocol is actually going to be staking payments that are generated for Orion's revenue streams, preserving the integrity of the underlying ORN token. Oh, not to mention that right now, today, as we speak, you can actually get 39% pre-staking for BitMax, KuCoin, and Bicky. Now, if you have them, now look, I'm not saying keep your coins on the exchange. I don't recommend that because, not your keys, not your coins. But if you're willing to take that risk right now, this is literally one of the highest pre-staking or just staking in general that I have ever seen. 39% is absolutely incredible. Just to point that out. But basically, what did I do here? I lost my spot. So yeah, and also they're going to have advanced features that you'll be able to unlock that won't be available to regular users. You'll also have benefits to other products, including first access to margin trading. Okay, lots of people are looking forward to this. Now, one of the big problems, for example, I love trading over on Bybit, for example. It's a centralized exchange. Now, some people are saying, well, that's a bad thing. Centralized exchanges can all burn in hell. Okay, fine. But let's be honest. If you want to trade super fast with lots of liquidity and have your orders matched at a speed that, these leverage traders want, then you got to go with centralized exchanges. However, coming over here and having a look at what Orion is doing, essentially these guys are going to be able to match super quick for decentralized leverage trading, which I think could be absolutely massive. And they are also building a developer kit, which is basically going to broaden the use case for their protocol. They're going to build a variety of dApps on them that can use it as well. Oh, and one major thing I want to point out is, not only to mention that, Moonwalker over here on Twitter, who just might I add, did call the massive BNB pump way back before it happened. He says some buy shitcoins with zero token use. I buy more ORN. It will pull a BNB that's more than 100x. Now, that's his opinion, not financial advice. Don't ever just buy any token because someone on Twitter or because I said it. Both of us are just guys on the internet. But one thing I will point out, and this is directly from the mouth of Benjamin Minku, who is the CEO of Elrond. He says, we're excited to share about the first DeFi integration of the Elrond mainnet with, you guessed it, Orion Protocol. So Orion Protocol is essentially going to be that first DeFi integration, that liquidity aggregator, cross-bridge from the DeFi world into the centralized world. He says, we're supporting our partners to enable their platform to aggregate the entire liquidity from centralized and decentralized exchanges, as well as liquidity pools. I literally just said that, probably should have just read it. And you can see right here that they're basically looking for a roadmap to have, well, right now you have Orion Terminal being deployed on Elrond. That is happening. Okay, currently you have Ethereum Bridge and MetaMask integration, Orion Broker Network integration, and by December, you're going to have the DeFi wallets and assets as well. So all of this is happening. They already have it going on right now, but you're looking for the major completion by the end of this year, which means there is a lot of room to grow, and there's also lots of room for speculation. So that is why, my friends, I have decided to personally buy some more of Orion Protocol. Totally up to you guys. Don't do it because I bought it. I could be totally wrong. Price could crash. I could lose all my money. Don't do what I'm saying, what I'm doing. I just see value in this. I think that some people that are like, oh, only about decentralization, or some people who say that, only centralization. I honestly think that you need to sort of marry the two, kind of like Chainlink is an Oracle service that can help bring some of the real world information, even from potentially centralized information, into the decentralized world. I do think the Orion Protocol liquidity aggregator will help to have that cross bridge and also just make a much more pleasurable experience for the DeFi space. So that is why I have chose to buy some more Orion Protocol. Not financial advice, just what I'm doing. Now, let's talk about this. So we did just speak about Elrond, right? Teaming up and partnering essentially and using Orion Protocol. So we are looking at lots of new government use cases for blockchains. You see Elrond really trying to push out there to be a blockchain that everybody can use. And you can see that actually Brad Garlinghouse, I know from my XRP fans out there, right? XRP's been doing quite well recently. He says blockchain is offering global governments a serious alternative to a strained financial system. He says as global populations continue to lose control in fiat currencies, as we're seeing with US dollars, they will choose to diversify. Our future global financial system will do the same. His argument held a close line with Fundstrat's Tom Lee, who told Bloomberg that trust is really getting broken in the traditional financial system. That's the theme. The less trust you have in a dollar, the more you want alternatives. And we have seen that. We have seen gold breaking its all-time high. We have seen things like Bitcoin and Ethereum and decentralized finance. Interest in that absolutely skyrocketing. People moving away from the traditional systems. Right here, you could say a year ago, many derived crypto as a scam. And now a majority of the governments are looking seriously at blockchain. He goes in to say, it addresses frictions, settlement, transparency that were assumed very hard to solve before. Crypto is up 80%, while the US dollar is down 3%. And we just saw, was it Bloomberg the other day that was saying that if we continue basically all of this quantitative easing and buying junk bonds and printing and whatever the heck we're doing, we're looking at a potential 5% decrease in the dollar a year from today. Usually you have 2 to 3%. We could be looking at a 5%. Now, let's end on this and then let's get on out of here, guys. So essentially, we have Balser Cantonal Bank, a Switzerland-based bank backed by the country's government, is set to offer crypto trading and custody services via its subsidiary, Bank Clear. So now you're seeing Swiss government-backed banks even getting into crypto trading. They'll reportedly be the first government-backed bank or central bank in Switzerland to venture into the crypto space. Oh, and here we go. They said that the crypto move has been taken due to a demand from younger clients. The bank has also hired Alan Kunz, former CEO of Token Suisse, as head of its digital assets. And guys, I think this video is way too long. It's time to give away our ledger. So let's do that right now. We had 8 videos actually last time. Let's generate video number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, Bitcoin will make history. This is when we had the monthly close. This is also when we had Joe Rogan come out saying that he loved Bitcoin. So let's put this in here. All right. And let's get our comments. Let's see how many we have. Oh my God, 579 unique comments. All right, drum roll please for the Ledger Nano S. Larry Block, Ample. Well, how'd that work out for you, buddy? Ample had a wild week, but on the bright side, you did win a ledger. So you have 24 hours to contact me. You know what to do. Either hit me up in the official About Me section or in the Telegram group, which is absolutely free. Anyone can join. Come hang out, say hello. That's it for me today, guys. Thank you for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this every single freaking day. My name is K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.